We're back with Dr. James Dobson, the founder and president of Family Talk, which airs on thousands of stations across America. And, of course, my good buddy from all the way back since we were kids. And, Jim, great to have you with us today. We were both so blessed with parents who knew God. I mean, you have your story, and, I know a lot of people watch this right now and know the story. Your parents were so precious. Your dad was one of my professors in college.
Is that right? Well, they
precious
they
man.
were great parents. They were. My mother knew just intuitively how to raise children. She didn't read it in the book because I hadn't written it yet, but she knew. She understood the mind of a child. But my dad is the one. When I got a little older, actually got out of high school, that I saw the strength of that man, and he had great influence on me till he died. Barry, how old were you when you accepted Christ?
I was, I think back to when that happened. Chuck Higgins was an evangelist at our church when I accepted the Lord. And
My Sunday school teacher, in fact.
Isn't that something? And so I was in the age of 12, 13, and it's never, you were 4.
I was.
You were 4.
Sitting with my mother at the back of the church. My dad was a preacher.
Wow.
It's called in our church tradition, there's an altar, and it's called opening the altar. And so he opened the altar. He said, there's no magic here, but this is a real good place to talk to God. If you'd like to come and give your heart to the Lord, I welcome you to do this. And people, I remember every moment of this. They were all stepping into the aisle and going forward. And I didn't ask my mother. I went with them. I gave my heart to the Lord, and I cried. And my dad came down from the platform and knelt beside me and put his hand on my shoulder. 4 years of age. That's right.
Parents, I don't know if they really understand that. And when they grow up, they'll watch us and, they'll get it. And when they get older or whatever, no, the battleground is right now. It's in that family.
Don't tell me that a child can't do business with God.
There is secular research that proves beyond a doubt that it's a matter if you're Christian or not. If you want your child to have a healthy life, to not be depressed, to have a healthy mind, to have a long-lasting marriage, to have a healthy career, there's nothing. These are secular studies. There's nothing you can do that will have the impact of having your child in church, reading the Bible, and praying to God. That's a secular study.
I'm sure that there are many, many people watching this and listening to us today, and if they believe that, and I'm sure there are millions of them who do, if they believe that, then they ought to be living according to it. That ought to be a priority, because if you don't get your children into the arms of Jesus Christ, you will never see them again after you're gone. That's the end. You will never see them again.
There is this disconnect between what we believe and what we do, our actions. We say we believe, we read it out loud, we read it to our kids, we hear it in church, we sing it in the songs, but when it comes right down to the practicality of it, we don't live our lives like we believe it.
We're either entrepreneurs, or we're creative people, or we're trying to earn money, or we're building a business, or we've got a medical practice, whatever it is we're doing.
For 100 years, and then it's over.
Absorbs us.
It does.
All of our time and energy is there. And around our feet are these little kids who are watching everything we say and do. They miss nothing. It's scary to me sometimes to realize that something I said casually comes back. And so if that really means a lot to us, we should live according to it.
We have to be sensitive to that.
Intentional about our faith.
And if we recognize that, we are automatically more careful. People are watching us, whether we like it or not. We're the city set on a hill. People are watching us. And we can either move them closer to God or further away from God by our body language, just by being insensitive.
And that's what Deuteronomy 6 tells us. And not just at bedtime, not now I lay me down to sleep, but it is all day long. When you get up, when you go for a walk, write it on the doorpost of your house and on your wrist and on your forehead. Just make it a part of everything.
That is such a good point. We're here with Dr. James Dobson, the founder and president of Family Talk, and we're going to have a lot more with Dr. Dobson on future segments.